Alright, pretty good. I think we can do a bit better though. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. It's coming together now. It won't go back. Why won't it go back? Oh god, it won't go back! Mortal Kombat 1 killed Tanya. No, not like that. Much worse than that. Because if you thought Scorpion was done dirty in this game, then Tanya was treated like garbage. Because at least Scorpion looks like Scorpion in this game, but not Tanya. At least Scorpion still plays like Scorpion in this game. Yeah, he's missing the swords, but it's close. Not with Tanya though. She plays nothing like the past games. She doesn't even use the same weapons. So once again, this is not Tanya. The other characters might call her Tanya, but that's like calling this Sonic. And this is definitely not Sonic. When you change literally everything about a character, you pretty much replace that character, which in my opinion is worse than killing them. And as gamers and also Mortal Kombat lovers, we need to make sure this never happens again. So today, allow me to explain in detail how Mortal Kombat 1 ruined Tanya. First up, we have the gameplay. Whenever you buy a new fighting game, you expect characters to play a certain way. Sub-Zero has to have his ice ball, Scorpion needs to have his rope spear, and Kitana needs her fans. Even if you're playing that new Mortal Kombat game for the very first time, you still have a good idea of how your favorite character will play. But not with Tanya, because NetherRealm changed everything about her gameplay, and I'm not sure why. Because players loved Tanya in Mortal Kombat X, so why not just improve on it? Why did NetherRealm completely change her weapon and moveset? It's very confusing, and to make things even stranger, just look at the concept art. That's right, she still has her tonfas. You know, the weapon that Tanya is known for? She also had a spear in Mortal Kombat X, but those tonfas are iconic. And since Tanya's appearance in this artwork looks identical to her in-game appearance, that means NetherRealm waited until after her design was finished to change her weapon. Yeah, in other words, it was changed last minute. That's like getting through airport security and then changing clothes in the bathroom right before your flight leaves. It doesn't make any sense to change her gameplay last minute like that. But honestly, I have a theory for why this happened. And to this day, not many people believe me, but I think I'm right. And I know it's gonna sound crazy, but just hear me out for a minute here. I think Tanya was meant to replace Jade. That's right, I really do. Because think about it, what was Jade's job in the past games? That's right, protecting the royal family. She was a high-end bodyguard, more or less. Well, guess what Tanya does in Mortal Kombat 1? That's right, she protects the royal family. She stole Jade's job, literally. In every other game before this, Tanya was a villain, but now suddenly she's a good guy? You can't tell me this whole thing is a coincidence. Tanya was meant to replace Jade in this game, and her weapon is the final piece of evidence. It's way too similar to Jade's staff. Oh, but it's a segmented staff, so it's different. She literally does the same attacks as Jade. She spins it, she smacks with it, she slams the ground with it. This is Jade's gameplay. Do not try and gaslight me on this. Tanya was meant to replace Jade. That's why she acts different, has a different job, and has different weapons too. Like mentioned earlier at the start of this video, this character is Tanya in name only. If NetherRealm chose to color her green at the last minute, nobody would question this being Jade. But speaking of appearance, let's cover that topic next. And it's a sensitive topic for some people, so let me say right away, calm down. Because I'm not going to argue about Tanya's race. Because Tanya is Edenian, aka not human. So if anyone watching wants to debate her race, then go right ahead, but leave me out. Because honestly, it's pointless to argue about. I do think the developers claim Tanya is black, but those same developers made her white in Mortal Kombat X. And they also made Jade white in the mobile game, just for the record. Then she was Arab in the DLC, which is one more reason I think it's lame to argue about Tanya's race. I just want to talk about her appearance overall. First up, we have the hair. In every game prior, Tanya has straight black hair, and it typically looked Egyptian. In Mortal Kombat X, Tanya's hair was the most iconic. It looked like Cleopatra, and that was clearly intentional. But now fast forward to Mortal Kombat 1, and her hair looks nothing like that. Tanya's hairstyle in this game is completely different. If I was to take Tanya's hairstyles in past games and then compare it to her hairstyle in Mortal Kombat 1, they look nothing alike. In other words, if I revealed Tanya's hairstyle before her character, nobody could guess that it was Tanya's hairstyle. It looks nothing like her. And I know some people might argue that changing a character's hairstyle is not a big deal, but I would counter that by showing these characters. Just imagine Juri or Chun-Li with different hair in their default costumes. Yeah, it would be a dumb change, but for a fun fact, Chameleon has Tanya's haircut for some reason. And in fact, if you color her skin, she even looks like Tanya. That's Tanya's face. I have no clue why NetherRealm did this. It does confuse me a lot, but hey, it's still a fun fact. On top of the hairstyle, Tanya's eyes, weapons, and clothing are completely different too. And I know it's just my opinion, but her default outfit is terrible. It's over-designed and way too complicated, but on top of that, it looks nothing like Tanya. Just imagine if Sub-Zero had an outfit like this. Boy would be looking goofy. And Tanya looks goofy too. Is she cosplaying a honeybee? Because that's what it looks like. Don't lie to me, we were all thinking it. Tanya looks like a bee in this game. And it's a shame because I like most of the redesigns in Mortal Kombat 1, but Tanya is just a big miss. I know hindsight is 2020, but NetherRealm really should have taken one of her old looks and just modified it, instead of going for something completely different like they did. I said it before in a past video, but if you're gonna change a character this much, then just make a new character. And you know what? I want to talk about the eyes, because Tanya is supposed to have white eyes. Some people might think that only undead characters get white eyes, but those people are wrong and I hate them. Tanya has had white eyes for decades now, and there's no need to explain why. In fact, in Mortal Kombat X, NetherRealm got so much backlash from story mode Tanya that they changed her eyes later on. They looked like normal human eyes in story mode, but then for DLC they were solid white, because NetherRealm realized they made a mistake and changed something way too specific about Tanya's design. Yet for some reason in Mortal Kombat 1, they made the exact same mistake again, which means Tanya is missing one more of her iconic features. I'm sure some of you watching would call this a nitpick, but imagine giving God Raiden normal eyes. It would just look weird, right? Okay, I think I've covered Tanya's appearance in good detail, so now it's time to talk about her personality, or more specifically, how NetherRealm completely changed it. For every past game, Tanya was a traitor, a backstabber, you get the idea. She first appeared in Mortal Kombat 4, and in that game, she tricks Liu Kang and gets him killed. That's right, she pretends to be a good guy and traps the actual good guy in a room with the worst bad guy. After which, Shinnok one-taps Liu Kang because that's how strong he's supposed to be. They really did nerf him in later games, but what more can you say? My point is, Tanya always betrays people. That's her entire gimmick. She does the exact same thing in Mortal Kombat X. She begins by betraying Mileena, but soon after, she betrays Rain in her arcade ladder ending. And she does all of this to better her own circumstances. Some fans like to pretend that her and Mileena are in love just because they banged once or twice, according to some intro dialogues. But the thing is, Mileena bangs anyone who will let her, and Tanya is a backstabbing traitor. So no, they do not love each other. Anyway, my point is, Tanya's personality is established from past games, just like every other fighting game character. Kitana is always noble, Liu Kang is always a Boy Scout, Johnny Cage is always funny, and Tanya is the traitor. Except in Mortal Kombat 1. In this game, she's the complete opposite. Just imagine Jade's personality and give it to Tanya. That's pretty much what's going on in Mortal Kombat 1, only Tanya is meaner and never cracks jokes like Jade sometimes does. But even so, she's still a good guy. In fact, she's incredibly noble in this game. The only surviving aspect of Tanya's character from past games is that she's still banging Mileena. Outside of that, Tanya is completely different and her personality is unrecognizable. There is one point in story mode where NetherRealm does try to tease us with the possible betrayal, but it's all one big misunderstanding. Tanya was never actually working against Mileena or trying to betray anyone, which was a cute little misdirection on the writer's part, but it could have been written better. For me personally, I think Tanya should have betrayed the villains instead. That's right, have her working alongside the villains for most of the story mode, but then reveal herself to be a double agent before helping the good guys win. Now that would have been a good twist in my opinion, since Tanya would still be a traitor but against the villains this time. It's similar but new. Tanya would still be a good guy but have that traitor aspect of her personality intact, as opposed to her current personality in Mortal Kombat 1, which is nothing like Tanya. Now some might argue that Rain is also a good guy in Mortal Kombat 1, and while that is true, he does still do some really sinister things in story mode and especially in his arcade ladder ending, so his personality change does not feel nearly as drastic as Tanya's, because Rain still does some bad had fangs, he's just trying to be good, as opposed to Tanya, who's just a paragon of goodliness. For whatever reason, Tanya is completely different in Mortal Kombat 1. Her gameplay, her appearance, and her personality are all different. NetherRealm could have made her a brand new character and nobody would bat an eye, which is something that should never happen. I understand that Mortal Kombat 1 is all about the new era, and therefore some things will be different. But even so, you should never completely change a fan favorite character, because it's always going to upset the fans, especially if that character is popular. But real quick, you know what else is strange? We see other Tanyas in this game, as in Tanyas from other timelines, and yet none of them resemble the old Tanya, as in the original Tanya, which I find very bizarre. Liu Kang even tells Titan Katana how different his Tanya is from her Tanya, yet they look the same. It's very strange how the characters themselves point out how different Tanya is in the new era, yet she looks the same appearance-wise to every other Tanya we see in other timelines. Once again, I find the whole situation bizarre, but the more I think about it, NetherRealm likely just didn't have time to make other Tanya models. As mentioned in past videos, Mortal Kombat 1 was very rushed. It was a very rushed game. But even so, it would have been really cool to see the original Tanyas in this game at some point, similar to how we see the old school Havoc in the background of the Chaos Reigns expansion. Which once again might be a minor nitpick, but it bothers me, okay? So I wanted to mention it. Honestly, it feels like NetherRealm is trying to erase the old Tanya. Maybe that's why Tanya looks the same in every other timeline we see. I hope that's not the case, but it honestly could be why. Regardless, that's about it for my video. I know most people likely don't care about a Tanya video, but I wanted to make it anyway, because it reminds me of Natara. This character used to be so popular and beloved, but after Mortal Kombat 1, it feels like nobody cares anymore, and that just sucks. But it's an important lesson to be learned from. Never change a character too drastically. Even if you are rebooting the series, fans get attached to many aspects of a character, from their personality to their fashion, and sometimes small details like their hairstyle, which is why you can't change too much about those characters without upsetting those fans. Tanya's redesign in Mortal Kombat 1 is a stark example of what happens when you change a fan favorite character too much. Thanks for watching everyone, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.